Hey guys, Nick here from Toad Hall Books and Records, and it's time for Record Store Day 2025. Can't believe it's here already, and we got more records than we have ever had in the history of the store. So much we had to add an additional rack, and we're still bursting at the seams. We got racks on the floor, records on the floor. Before I get into the stuff, let's run over some of the rules, what we got going on. Obviously, you guys know by now we're a pledge store, so there's no holds, no pre-holds. We can't, hold anything, pre-sell it, hold it back. There's no price gouging. We go straight MSRP. New this year, if you're local and you're paying cash, there is a 3% cash discount. So you want to bump that down a little bit, bring cash. That'll save you some bucks. On top of that, the big thing is there's no phone orders for out of state on Saturday, meaning you can't call and we ship it to Texas, Florida, California, whatever. You can call if you're coming from Madison, Indiana, locally, and later in the day. I can't do it while I have a line. If you're coming in, you're like, oh, do you still have one? I can hold it for you to pick up that day in store. If you don't pick it up, then it's going to go online. If you're not local, which I know a lot of you aren't, Sunday morning, 7 a.m. Central Time, whatever we have left will go live on the website. And I know the website doesn't show quantities, but if it says sold out, we're out of them. If it says in stock, we got them still. But we'll put quantities up right at 7 a.m. or shortly there before and get it up so you guys know what you're after there at 7 a.m. Sunday. The line, if you're in my line and you've done it before, it's unchanged basically. But if you've never been in it, first three people or the first person, you get 3 picks. And we'll do this probably at 6 a.m. You'll stand outside. We'll have it on a phone. We'll pull the first 3 items. Next person. We'll go through the whole line till 8 a.m. At 8 a.m., the person on the other end of the phone comes in. We start letting the line come in the building. You'll be handed your first 3 items. You'll come to the counter. You can get 3 more Record Store Day items. At that point, you can take your 6. You can shop the rest of the store. You can check out and get back at the end of the line for more RSD. That ensures that everybody gets as much stuff as they can. When it's your second time through, the tables will be pulled, and then it'll be, you can buy whatever you want. Obviously, the no duplicate rule applies. If this is all too much for you, if you go to our website, toadhallonline.com, go to the RSD page, it'll explain all the rules right there, along with all the prices of everything we got. So, all right, let's get into it. Enough chit chat. Let's get into it. That's all Taylor Swift. Whole brick of Taylor's. Taylor Post Malone's. Got 100 of them, guys. So I know there's going to be a lot of people out there hunting for these. People have been hacking our website trying to order these. Obviously, if you order something on our website before Sunday, 7 a.m., we're going to cancel it. Yeah, big deal on these. Coming out, you got to be in person. First 100 people that want one are probably going to get one. Don't sleep in. Get in line. You got a really good chance of getting one. They're $18. So don't sleep in. You got 100 of them. That's a lot of people. Like I said, no duplicates. So it's going to go a long way. If you're in my line, I'm going to bet you're going to have probably a good shot at grabbing one. CDs, David Bowie, Harvey Mandel. We got Gil Scott-Heron. There's a couple more Bowies, a couple more Wallows. Yeah, Wallows Hope. And more Bowie, Snoop Dogg, Ice-T, Gil Scott, Harvey Mandel. The rest of the 7-inch. There is the Brazil 66. Bad Not Good curated it. Okay, these are all on our website, guys, so you can check these out. Anderson packs. I got... no, this is the Waxahachie. I got 4 of the Waxahachie, it looks like. Anderson packs. And here's one, but I think I got 3 of them. Maybe 2 of them. Let's see if they're not all quite together yet. We got another day to set up. Amara Apollo, Panda Bear. Here's the Fruit Bats. There's Tom Waits. We got, 4 of the Tom Waits. Ben Vaughn combo. Got a couple of those. There's more Amara Apollo. Some Scott Weiland 7 inches. How cool is that? I know it's too late. De La Soul, Bigger Respect. Got those look like double. Yeah, they're 2 disc. They're like mini EPs. The Struts. I got a few of those. Charlie XCX. Got a nice handful of those. These are all Charlie XCX, Billie Eilish, 7 inches. Nice selection of those. Bluey, Burger Dog, 7 inch. Got a little stack of those. And then this is the Lil Yachty, I believe, or I think it's Lil Yachty. The When We Die, Can We Still Get High? So let's move on over to the LPs. Get into the bins here. All right. Sorry for the camera, guys. Got to move some stuff around. A little cramped on space here. All right. So this year we also added a various artists section. This camera set up. A various artists section and soundtrack section. Starting with the hottest soundtrack I've been asked about. These are going to be gone in the line. We got 3 of the Wicked soundtracks. This is the exclusive pink and green. We do have regular copies of the Wicked, different cover obviously, but Black Knight, Pinball Machine soundtrack. Scott Ian of Anthrax did that. What I'm looking forward to. Rockafire Explosion with the die-cut cover. Make Them Die Slowly. Cannibal Ferox, motion picture soundtrack. 7 Doors of Death, original motion picture soundtrack. Doctor Who, 10th Planet soundtrack. The Never Ending Story, got a couple of these. Top Secret, this is makers of the original Airplane. Goblin, The Other Hell, motion picture soundtrack. Over the Edge soundtrack. Cheap Trick has 4 songs on this bad boy. They got Surrender, Speak Now or Forever Hold Your Peace, Hello There, and Down. If you're a Cheap Trick collector, that's going to be on your list. Virgin Suicides. Passengers. It's really not really a sound. It says original soundtracks, but it's really just a Eno U2 collab. I threw it in soundtracks anyway. That's where people are going to look for it, I think. Mel Brooks, High Anxiety. Look at that. Silent movie, Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein. I love it. We got Serpent and the Rainbow soundtrack. First Love, Last Rites, Shudder to Think from the soundtrack. And then all 4 Harry Potters. The first 4, I should say. Sorcerer's Stone. You got Chamber of Secrets. What's your John Williams? Then the 3rd one is done by Patrick Doyle. Goblet of Fire. And then Azkaban. Prisoner Azkaban. All $36. All right, let's get to the next section here. The only one of these I got, the Lo-Fi Records. Video game Lo-Fi. Which I think that'll go right away. We got a couple of these Treasures Untold Modern 78 RPM Reader. Pretty cool piece. I believe it's $51, but it's got some cool stuff in it. Westbound Sound, Foundations. Cave Stomp. Startime Country. Music, Best of Music for Mother Ocean. This is one of the coolest comps this year, guys. All these California bands. You got Chili Pepper, Snoop Dogg, Ben Harper, Butthole Surfers, Jewel, No Doubt, Primus, Ramones, Pearl Jam. It's loaded. Alts and Outs, Cannibal Adderley, Grant Green. It's a jazz comp. My other favorite for this year is the Soul Slabs 4 on red vinyl. Awesome stuff. Coal Mine always kicking out the heat. Jazz Dispensary, Night Lights on Midnight Blue vinyl. Sweet Relief, We Can Help. This is the 2 LPs, 18 songs, double color vinyl. Rumble in the Jungle. And 400% Dynamite. Last year was 300% Dynamite. We're up to 4 this year in the various artists. Now, again, we have a ton of this stuff, guys. Let's see if I can show it. These are all Harry Potters. A bunch more Cave Stomps, West Sides, Doctor Who's. There's another 78 book. A bunch more Coal Mines. This is more of the Virgin Suicide soundtrack. Mel Brooks soundtrack. A ton of the Over the Edge because you got to have the Cheap Trick. What do we got here? This is more of the Passengers. I might as well do the whole rack here. There's a bunch of the Gracie Abrams. That's iRobots, Alan Parsons, Haas, 13th Floor Elevators, Black Sabbaths, Kelsey Ballerinis. Here's Bad Livers, Better Than Ezra's, Biba Doobie, David Bowie. There's a Blasters box. That's Blackstone Cherry. What's this yellow one? It's, the B-52s. That's an awesome record. And finally, more of the Belly. All right, so let's go back up top here. Into the numbers. We're not even to the A's yet, guys, but we'll speed up here. 13th Floor Elevators on blue, black swirl. Tori Amos, Living Deeper. See if I can get this thing steady here. I need a steady cam is what I need. Air, Moon Safari, live demos. Secret of Us, Gracie Abrams, the deluxe. Oh, this is the live one. Got a bunch of those. There's Alan Parsons we talked about. This is pretty neat. It's work in progress for iRobot. And all the demos for Hunting High and Low. Also, a cool landmark album. We got one Blue Cheer in today. I'm guessing I'm not going to get a whole lot of these, but we got one. I ordered more than one, I promise you. Bun B, got a couple of these. Bad Livers, I showed you there's some more underneath. Count Basie and his orchestra. Chet Baker. Black Sabbath, got a bunch of these Eternal Idol Black Sabbath records. Belly, King, Blur, the Magic Whip on Zoetrope vinyl. There's more Biba Doobies. There's more B-52s. Jeff Bridges has a record out. There's the Bowie. We also showed the CD earlier. We got the vinyl as well. There's the Blackstone Cherry RSD album. Kelsey Ballerini again. We got Better Than Ezra. How Does Your Garden Grow? James Blunt, Back to Bedlam. John Brahani. Got a couple of those. And then the Blasters box, which I got only two of them. American Music Story Complete Studio Recordings. It's got 5 records in it. I only have 2. I'm thinking those are going to go pretty quick on Saturday. Into the Seas. They get a little more room as I go. This bin is probably the most full. All right, let me adjust this up. All right, starting with the Alex Chilton. I got one of these in today. The only one I got. Carcass, Necrotism. The Cure, the last record to be added to Record Store Day 25. The last minute Cure ad. I don't know how many stores are going to get that, but we got a bunch. Cunning Linguists. Got a couple of those. The Color Field, Virgins and Philistines. I'll take a few out just to get in here. Necrotism, there's more of those. This is Cop, Shoot Cop. Consumer Revolt. Chauvin Cartel, Look Over the Nile. Chevelle, there we go. Point number 1. Limited edition, lemon and olive color vinyl. Patsy Cline, Imagine that, the Lost Recordings, 54 to 63. 52 tracks, 104 minutes. Camper Van Beethoven does their first Record Store Day release. Really happy to have that out. Cali Agents, How the West Was Won. Cowboy Junkies, more acoustic junk. Cypress Hill, Live at the Fillmore. Is this 2LP? It is 2LP. All right, this is the first Third Man exclusive Record Store Day release. This Elvis Costello. I got a couple. I got 2. $40, King of America. I don't think those are going to last long, but I got a couple of them. Charlie XGX, Angel number 1. I know that's going to be a hot seller. Cruise and Cologne, $31 on that. Collective Soul Blender, finally out on vinyl. Happy to see that. The Cure, Head in the Door, picture disc. Always putting out a picture disc. Ry Cooter, live at the Main Point, 72. Bobby Charles, Bearsville Studio Sessions. Churches, Every Open Eye. Into the D's. We'll do a couple more and then we'll go underneath too. Drift, I think I only got one Drift. A Day to Remember, awesome band, one of my faves. Attack of the Builder Keyside, Killer B-Sides, a nice handful of those. Olivia Dean, I know there's some people looking for this one, got a nice little handful of those. The Sex EP by The Dare. Doors, Strange Days, Work in Progress, all the demos to Strange Days. Dead Sarah, Ain't It Tragic? The Zoetrope for Duran Duran, which I think is awesome. That's going to look so cool to their new album. It's only $31. If you haven't picked it up yet, it's worth picking up. Kenny Dorham, first release, Kenny Dorham. Dokken, Beast from the East. Dwarves with the most ridiculous cover of the drop. Picture disc, so you get to look at that on your table. Del and the Funky Homo Sapien, Good News. Jackie DeShannon, Love Forever. The Dictators, New York, New York. Decide, Once Upon the Cross. Dada, finally out. 2 LP debut, limited to 2,000 copies. Dead or Alive, Youthquake remixes. Harvey Danger, King James version. Nathan Davis, Happy Girl. And Willie Dixon, What Happened to Blues. All right, let's get into the E's. We got a bunch of Elton Johns. These are just the two. I'll show the underneath section in a minute here. This is that Unia Enya. A couple of those. Bill Evans, Further Ahead, live in Finland. Earth Hex. And Eden's Children, Fuzz Laden Boston Psych. What is this one? From Today. That one I missed that one when it came in. Fields of Nephilium for the Metalheads. Sam Fender, Me and the Dog. Free Nationals. Neil Finn. Folsom Jetson on blue vinyl. Fleetwood Mac picture disc, the self-titled. We got Liam Finn. K. Crimpo, Flying Lotus, Spirit Box, Frankie and Witch Fingers, which has an awesome looking cover. I love it. One of my favorite covers this year. We'll do the last and then we'll do the underside and kind of show off what we got here. Oh, the G's. The G's are big. Give Me Some, family. We got the Vince Giraldi. There's multiple Vince Giraldis. You got the Jazz Impressions of a Boy Named Charlie Brown. Then you got the Easter Beagle Charlie Brown, the Record Store Day exclusive egg shape record. That's coming. You got Lisa Geronimo. And then a bunch of these Gorillaz Demon Days Live from the Apollo. That's on my list right there. I haven't taken one yet, but I'm going to have to. David Gilmour with Romy Gilmore. The Grays. Grateful Dead always has stuff. This is a Dogfish Head beer on the back porch. That's their record this year. Freddie Gibbs. We got the Gladiators. Another one of my favorite covers. This is Gunna by Wunna. Gray Boy freestyling. Good Neighbors. Guttermouth. And Gorky Zygotic mints. All right, underneath, we got a lot, guys. We aren't going to run out on Saturday. Well, we will have some titles, obviously. But, I mean, these are all, let's take a look. So, Patsy Clines, these are all Chevelles. These are all Collective Souls. These are all Cars, Rycooters, Cypress Hills, Patsy Clines, Cowboy Junkies, Camper Vans, bunch of Doors. Here's another handful of Charlie XCXs. What else we got here? What's this? This is Cures, Nathaniel Davis, a bunch more Doors, Dadas, Dead Sarahs, Duran Durans, Kenny Dorhams. Okay, here's a whole crate of Garcias. I haven't shown this one yet. It's in the next bin. These are all Jerry Garcias, and then underneath a whole crate of Grateful Dead boxes. This one we got a bunch of Fleetwood Macs, Free Nationals. What do we got here? Elton John's. That's all Elton John's. Bill Evans. That's going to be a good one. Neil Finn. Gorillaz Demon Days. Grateful Dead Back Porch that I just showed. There's some of the box I haven't shown yet. Gray Boy. David Gilmour. I don't know that I showed. Oh, yeah, I showed that one. Good Neighbors and more Gorillaz. All right, moving on to the next rack. Finish the G's up. Liam Gallagher of Oasis. There you go, a bunch of those. Peter Gabriel, OVO. This is Griff. We got a bunch of Griffs. People were asking about these. There's about 4 of them. Gilberto, Astrid Gilberto. Bunch of the Grateful Dead boxes. 126 we got on those. And a bunch of the Garcias, $66 on that. Hepcat, Push and Shove. This is that Peter Holzapfel. I only got one of these. This just came in. I think that might be a tough one to get this year. Paul Hardcastle, Francois Hardy, more Hepcat, George Harrison, Be Here Now, to go along with the other George Harrison. Brittany Howard, Live from Austin City Limits. Freddie Hubbard, On Fire. Hindu Love Gods, if you're into 90s stuff. Hank 3, Rebel Within. There you go, a whole handful. All right, All Things Must Pass, but it's Zoetrope. 3 LP Zoetrope. This record's out of print right now, so you can't find a regular copy of it. I think I still have a 5 LP box behind the counter, but you can't get the 3 LP right now. House of Love, Him, Robert Hunter, who was the lyricist for Grateful Dead. So it's another Grateful Dead adjacent piece. Emmylou Harris, Spy Boy, and then John Lee Hooker, the Charcot Sessions. Mahalia Jackson. This was a late arrival. This came, I think, yesterday. Got a couple of those. Insurgents DC is another late arrival. Move these. I don't want these falling here. Insurgent right for the trade-off. Judas Priest, 2 LP. Live in Atlanta, 82. That's going to be a hot ticket. Jet Rarities for Get Born. Skip James, Hard Time Killing Floor. Jesus Lizard, Flux. Got a handful of those. Joywave, How Do You Feel Now? Good record. Vixen, Gloria Jones. Got a couple of these Jayhawks. Ice-T, Power, Rarities. Ice-T, Live at Montreux Festival, 1995. Jethro Tull, Songs from the Vault. Killers, Bruce Springsteen, Encore at the Garden. Probably the coolest comp of the, or pair-up, I think, of the whole thing. Marcus King, Live from Bluebird Cafe. Kalina, In the Blue Light. Mark Knopfler, One Take Radio Sessions. And Kaleo, All the Pretty Girls EP. Got a nice handful of those. All right, let's go underneath. Let's see what we got. Let's go see what we got. I'll put the camera this way. Okay, we got more. This is more Astrid Gilbertos. These are all Garcias. These are all more Peter Gabriels. These are Hindu Love Gods. Got a nice stack of those. These are all Harrisons. Freddie Hubbard, Brittany Howard, George Harrison, other one, Hank 3. It's John Lee Hooker, him, Emmy Lou. Ice-T, more Joey Wave. That is Jayhawks, Vixen, Jet, and then a whole batch of Judas Priests. There's Jet, Ice-T, and Mark Knopfler's here. It's Jet, Ice-T, Mark Knopfler. So there's about half. We're about halfway done. I'm going to take a breather here. Whew. It's a lot of stuff, guys. It's a lot of stuff this year. More records than we've ever gotten. Look, I can't even fit them in the rack. I got a crate on the floor here. This MJ Lenderman just came in, I think yesterday. We finally got some of these in. Finally had those. Little Richard. Try some of mine. Brunswick recordings. And a bunch of Leves. I think this is going to be another sellout piece right here. Leve Night at the Symphony Hollywood Bowl. I think we're going to go through a lot. I think we got 30 of those. So we're going to go through them, though. All right. Yeah, look, here's a whole handful of them. Los Javis. I got one. Los Javis. Licorice Roots. Roots Orchestra. Sci-Fi Lullabies Volume 2 by the London Swede. Levitation Room. Minds of Our Own. There's more Little Richards. La Lome, live at Tolia Hall. Isabel Campbell and Mark Lanigan. Got some of those. Liline LaHavis. I don't know that one. Bunch of Lil Uzi Verts, though. I know this is going to be a hot ticket. People are looking for those. Power to the People. John and Yoko. John Legend. Get Lifted Rising. Lemonheads. There's some Nick Lowe action in there. Geddy Lee, Lost Demos. Moving on. Mal. Dub. I believe it's Dub 2 or Dub. The Mission. Neverland. I got more of those. They're sitting on the table, I think. I got to get them in the back bin. Allison Monet. Mark Morton. Harvey Mandel. The Snake. Sugar Minot. Live at Studio One. Wes Montgomery, Wynton Kelly Trio, Smoking in Seattle. This is Craig Mack. Nick Mason, if you're a Floyd head, there's a Nick Mason release. There's 3 different Floyd adjacent titles. You got, I'm blanking on the other 2 at this moment, but just keep your eye out. Mulligan meets Monk. Mingus at Monterey. Medium Build. Got a couple of those. Motley Crue. Smoking in the Bose Room. Picture disc. Meters. Thelonious Monk. Live at the club. At the It Club, I should say. Lookout Live. Johnny Marr. Joni Mitchell. The LA Express 1976 U.S. Tour. Nice little package on that. Morphine, Bootleg Detroit. And Mingus in Argentina, the Buenos Aires concerts. Nectar. Looks like we got 3 of them. Remember the Future. David Fathead Newman, Return to the Wide Open Spaces. Neurotic Outsiders. Nice handful of those. Dolores O'Riordan. No Baggage. OGZ, GZ World 2. Got 3 of those. OMD, Orchestral Movements in the Dark. Peel Session 79 to 83. Oasis box, we got 2. They said 900. Then they said on the website it says 1,000, but they're numbered to 3105. So I'm guessing what they did is they did the colored version for the first release. And I don't know how the numbering got messed up, but they must have done the jackets and the records separate. Public Image. First issue, Swan Lake Attack. Pill, if you're a Pill fan, there you go. All right, Pond. Oh, I should do underneath. Let's do underneath before we get too far. So So you already saw the Leves. Let's see, what do we got here? Oh, there's a bunch more of the Power to the Peoples. There's more John Legends. There's more of that Leon the Hobbes. A bunch of Leves. Kitty Lee. Hey, can you give me the list of the ones we don't have? That'd be great. There's 4 titles we don't have, and I know it's on the counter. Mingus and Monterey. Bunch of Mulligan meets Monk. Got a handful of those. Here's Wes Montgomery. Got a bunch of those. More Harvey Mandels. These are all McMasons. Let's see what we got under here. Motorhead. Did I show that one up there? I'm going to have to make sure they're up there. Motorhead, got a bunch of those. You just leave the count. Oh, take a look at it. Monk, Mitchell's. These are Mingus. Erotic Outsiders. And look at all these Post Malones. It's all Post Malone. And Prince. So we'll get over to the P's. So it's starting to blend in a little. All right. Pond. 4 Ponds. Vicky Peterson. John Kelsel. We got 2 of the P1H. P1 Harmony. We got a few of the Graham Parkers. Let me move these Ponds over so we can flip. Pale Saints. One of those. Party Next Door Party Pack. Petey, USA. Here's another handful of Post Malones. It's pretty cool. Post Malone doing Nirvana, and obviously he is the ambassador this year. Really excited to hear that. Give that a spin. But we got a bunch of them. Must have got like 40 of them, I think. Viva Doc Pomus. Prince and the New Power Generation. Papa Roach. Talked Away the Dark. Giles Peterson, international album. Pixies. Who doesn't love the Pixies? Bossa Nova and Trump Lamond live in one package. And Queen with demos, 12-inch. I think it's 5 songs. Always good to have a Queen piece. All right, Royal Otis. Got, 6 of those. Ruel. Got a handful of those. The Rembrandts LP. Spirit of the Living God. Rosalind Charles. Rolling Stones, Out of Our Heads. Rainbow Kitten Surprise. RKS 10th anniversary edition of that record. Keith Richards, for you Stones fans. Expensive Winos. This is the 3rd edition of the trilogy of the Residents Leftovers again. Jack Russell, Tracy Guns, Remy Wolf, Todd Rundgren, Arena Tour Live. And then here's a reissue of Initiation. Switch sides, use my other arm here. Lou Reed, Metal Machine Music. Rage Against the Machine Live. I think this is going to be a hot seller too. I got a bunch of them, but they're from 1993, unreleased live stuff. Rage stuff is always so cool. Ramones, Loco Live. Handful of those, and a bunch of replacements. Tim, the classic Replacements record. 1-2, Sister Nancy. Slint. Tweez. We got Village, a couple of those. Those were a late ad. Sweet, Desolation Boulevard live demos, 50th anniversary set. Sweet, always putting out good stuff for Record Store Day. Shudder to Think. Pony Express record, first U.S. pressing. Super Bad, the OJs. The Sword, Warp Riders. Sixpence None the Richer. I believe it's on yellow and red vinyl. Archie Shepp, Full Moon Ensemble. And Snoop Dogg, the purple vinyl edition to go along with the CD. Moving on down. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. We're down to the almost the lower in the S's. So, get you set up here. There we go. Oh, you know what? I should do the underneath part. That's what I gotta do. All right, underneath. These are all queens. These are all princes. These are all Pill. These are all Rolling Stones. These are all Royal Otis. These are RKS. Look at all the rages. This is all Rage Against the Machine underneath. And then you got a whole section of Replacements Tim. A whole section of Ramones Live. It does lighten up a little bit on this side. You can see there is, looks like we got Sly, Family Stone. These are all Soul Asylums. These are Sam Smiths. There's a whole section of Sting Live, which I think is going to be an awesome record. Toad and the Wet Sprocket. Thin Lizzy's. Obviously, those are all Wars. Wallows. These are all the Wu-Tangs we got extra with the unique covers. All Warren Zevons. And then there is some Yeses underneath here. So that's it for the bottom. We'll get that all done. So I can just zip through the last little bit. All right. Last bit. Last stretch here. This is Pharoah Sanders. We don't have too many of them. Sun Oracle. Dave Stewart. Dave does Bob Dylan. How cool is that? Look at the back picture. It's him and Bob Dylan. Pretty neat. Skin Lab. Bound, Gagged, and Blindfolded. Sly and the Family Stone. STP live in New Haven, 1994. I love it. I love the STP stuff. Oh, very cool. Shakira live from Paris. We got a couple of the Sun Ra boxes, only 2 of them. Those are very limited. I'm sure they're going to go. 1-800 Meltdown. This is the Season to Risk record. There's the other one. Move them over. Ralph Stanley and Friends. Sex Witch. A couple of those. Saxon, Wheels of Steel. Sun Ra. Marty Stewart got 4 of the Space Junk superlatives. We built this city on rock and roll. Got a nice handful of those. Stings, but you saw there's a bunch underneath. These are all Gil Scott-Herons on red. Soul Asylum. Sam Smith, which we have more of those underneath as well. T-Rex. Sorry about that. T-Rex Bolin B-Sides. Throwing Muses live in Providence. Bunch of Thin Lizzy Jailbreak. I mean, that's an awesome record. Frank Turner, Positive Songs for Negative People. We got Don Tolliver, got about, 6 of those. Peter Tosh, Greatest Hits. Reel to Reel, Tesla. Talking Heads. Look at all these Talking Heads records. Good Lord. All this is Talking Heads. There's some Toad and the Wet Sprocket. More Frank Turner. This is the Thievery Corporation double red vinyl. I'm going to move my table here. It's in my way. Switch it over. Oh. All right. Reel to Reel by Tesla. People always looking for Tesla records. 2 LP? Yeah, I think so. Teenage Bottle Rocket. Got a couple of those. Crispy Zembo Tempo. Terrorizer, World Downfall. Carla Thomas. Thompson Twins, Into the Gap Live. That'll be a good record. U-Roy is the only you released this year. Verlaine's, Some Disenchanted Evening. Eddie Vedder, we just got these in. I got 3, but I'm thinking, I thought there was more than 3. But yeah, excited to have some Eddie Vedder in the house. This is Vegan. They're covering Moon Safari. They're calling it Blue Moon Safari. Joy Vance, got 3 of those. The Veronicas, 20th Anniversary Edition. The Verve, Voyager 1. Wall of Voodoos just came in. Oh, I got my audio up here. All right. Oh, man. Get my volume turned down here. There we go. All right, Wall of Voodoo. The Lost Tapes Live. Dark Side of the Moon, Roger Waters, Redux, live. Wrecking Crew, Makaya sessions. That would be probably pretty sweet. Ronnie Wood, live at Electric Ladyland. The War Box, 50th anniversary, Why Can't We Be Friends? You know, it's only $61, and it's 3 LPs in a nice little box. I think that's a good price for that. I like that price. Last bit here, Marty Walson Piper, Rebel by Ann Wilson. We got the Wombats. We've got the coolest covers. Every cover for this record, there's 5,000 copies. Every single one is unique. Every one is one of one. See how this one's red and the dragon's different and the weapon is, well, the weapon's the same and different backgrounds, different overlays. So that's really something special. We've got Wire, 9/7s. We've got Everybody Have Fun Tonight by Wu Wang Chung. Bunch of Wallows more. The Wreckers. Tucker Wetmore. Clarence White. Warren Zevon box, which is Piano Fighter. This is a 3 LP box there. Well, it's actually a 4 LP, but it's 3 studio albums. Yes, Live at the Rainbow, London, England. And Young Thug is the last one of the year. Wow. 334 releases, and we're currently missing 4. They may still show up. The 4 we don't have are JJ Gray and Mofro, Kara Glazer, Matria Kali, and Rain Parade. Those are the only ones we're missing right now. Obviously, all this stuff comes out. Man, I took that thing twice. All this stuff comes out 8 a.m. You guys know that. Big sale stuff. We got a whole bin of clearance vinyl. I got to still do a little organizing. But look at this. I got 5 crates of 20% off new vinyl. That's all ready to go. Obviously, you can grab any of our equipment. All of our regular priced used vinyl is going to be 33% off the inside price. 20% off that for just those for used vinyl. CDs, DVDs, 20% off. Tons of goodies out. Anything with the Toad Hall sticker on it, any like regular used vinyl, that'll be 10% off. Anything on my wall will be 10% off. So we got a lot going on, guys. There's a lot of fun to be had today. Or record store day, I should say. Get here early. I think we're going to do pre-picks in the line at 6 a.m. so that we can keep up with the line. We can have everybody get through it. And before 8 a.m., we want to get everybody a fair shot to get the stuff. So we definitely want to be in line before 8 because 8 is the cutoff. At 8 a.m., we open the door. If you're here at 8:05, you're just going to be at the back of the line. So, all right, guys. Website's toadhallonline.com. The link's in the bio. Click on that. You can shop. You can look at the prices. I got everything on there. No quantities this year. They requested that I pull quantities off my website, so I did it. But again, look at the video. You get a pretty good idea of what I got. And we will see you bright and early Saturday morning for the biggest day of the year. Thanks so much. See ya.